event. And what we've done is we've done a Limca record.
Okay.
So me, my brother have done a Limca record, and what I have personally done for that is I have remembered 75 telephone numbers in less than an hour.
75. My
Yes. And
goodness.
this.
I remember one or two with difficulty.
So those are not from my phone book.
Oh.
They were actually taken from the auditorium. So I went into the auditorium and asked, okay, what's your name, what's your number, what's your name, what's your number, what's your name, what's your number. I came back onto the stage, people moved around, and then somebody asked the name, I gave the number, somebody asked the number, I gave the name, and somebody asked, actually, okay, tell me about me. So I said, okay, you're Pankaj and your number is da 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 da.
Hi Kasibhatla. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. You have a nice office.
Thank you.
And I've been thinking of coming to your office for long. Somehow managed
Finally
to get
happened.
it. Finally it happened.
Yes.
So, Anant, could you tell something about yourself, what you're doing, like,
Yeah.
about yourself and what you're doing exactly, so for my viewers.
Okay. So I'm a second generation focus and memory coach.
Okay.
So what I do basically is I help people to harness their natural focus and memory abilities,
Okay.
so that they can become more productive
Mhm.
and their life becomes more pleasurable.
Okay.
Like if you look at normally people, like the basic things I work on typically 4 things: focus, memory, reading, and learning. So this is all I deal about, and I very proudly say I don't deal anything other than this,
Mhm.
and I don't believe anything in this,
Okay.
because I've been working on this for the last 28 years.
28 years, my
Absolutely. And
Pretty
in fact, I'm second generation into this.
Okay.
My dad was into this, and I have picked it up, and then I personally have done this for the last 28 years.
Oh.
So it's like in this field, in this 4 domains, so I can be the go-to person. I've been working very deep in this. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into this? Is that because your parents were there, or what made you get into this?
One of the reasons, of course, my dad was into this. So me, my brother, my dad, we all started in a way together. So my dad used to do a lot of stuff for himself.
Okay.
And then how I came into, earlier I was a magician.
Oh,
I was a
really?
professional stage magician
That's
actually.
interesting.
So I was used to limelight. So from age 8 until age 16, I was doing magic for a good
Okay. 8 to 8, 16.
8 to 16. So 8 years.
8 years.
8 years I was doing magic. And then
That was pretty young, yeah.
of course,
Time.
absolutely. So my first stage magic was I was 8 years old.
What did you do at 8 years on the
So
stage?
it was like a festival kind of thing. I was staying in Hyderabad those days.
Okay.
So there's a festival in one of the temples there. So they have huge cultural events coming up. So I was under one of my gurus who taught magic. So about 6 and 7 of us were doing magic together. So different tricks.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I've done few tricks at that time. Yeah. So what happened was later when I went into college, right? So there were another person who was also doing magic.
Okay.
So my limelight would have obviously it is split.
Split.
So I picked up this field for, interestingly, for one strange reason.
Okay.
And the reason is that, hey, look, I can do something which you cannot do. Because
Oh.
there's magic somebody else is doing. So I wanted to be unique.
Something different from all.
Something different. So the only objective was I can do something which you cannot. So I can actually, when I say I can do something which you cannot do, so what I mean by that is I'm a hardcore memory expert.
Okay.
So I can remember anything, and I can help people to remember anything.
Is it inborn?
No, it's not inborn. It's actually a pure skill,
Oh.
like any other skill.
So you have developed it.
Absolutely,
Over the
100%.
years.
Over the years, it was a conscious choice, and there's a lot of conscious effort which has gone in. It's not like something, I woke up one day and I started figuring out that I can remember. No. Now, it's a skill which can be tuned up, like learning to speak Vietnamese, learning to drive, learning karate. You're not born with it, but you can learn it.
Learn by practice.
Learn by practice, it's a science.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into that actually. So then what happened was the science is so interesting that I just went deeper and deeper, and it's like an ocean,
Oh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Even your father was into it?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was into that. My brother was into that,
Okay.
and there were times where all 3 of us used to do programs together.
Oh.
Then there was a lot of demand. So I moved to Malaysia. My brother moved to Singapore. My dad was here.
Oh.
So we still did some programs together.
Uh,
So we do independent programs and we sometimes do programs together as well. Yeah.
wonderful. So
It's a family hobby change into profession. You can't ask for more.
yeah, you enjoy what you're doing there.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Malaysia, what were you doing? The same or
Yeah, all my life I'm just doing one thing.
one thing?
That's it. So I help people. So if you put it in one line kind of thing, I help people get extraordinary results in half the time and half the effort you normally put in. So I mean, why I say that is, whether you're mixing coffee or performing a surgery or talking to somebody or making a pitch deck in a Shark Tank, it really
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can have a bit more focus, you'll be able to deliver results in a better manner. And that's what all I help people to do. People can stay in the present so that they can access themselves, because only in the present they have access to themselves. So how you
Right.
can access your own natural capacity and then deliver. So by doing that, you'll have more productivity, lesser mistakes, you save time, and life will be more enjoyable. As I said.
Enjoyable, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So did you face any challenges? Because it's totally something different.
Oh yes.
Because there's something very new. I've never heard this before. I heard it
Yeah,
from
this
you.
is something very interesting. Like
Because I never read it anywhere also all through my life.
True.
So it's something very interesting and something unique.
Absolutely.
So,
So
how
I just
can people accept you as
Got
a
it.
professional?
Right. So I want to share something very interesting. Yeah? So everywhere I go, I mean, this has been happening for the last 20 years. When I meet somebody for the first time, they say, "Oh, this is something very new." I mean, I have been doing this for 28 years myself. But anyways, so there were a lot of challenges, because now specifically for us, like
Yeah.
me, my brother, and myself. So let's talk about me. So one is I was very very young. So I was 17 and a half years old.
Wow.
So when I started off, and that's why I say I've got a head-on 28 years experience. So that was one reason, and like I still remember, like there was one time where me, my brother, my dad, we were all busy because of some events happening, and then we were doing it together. But there was one time where there's a demand from a different city which came in.
Okay.
So my dad said, "Okay, Anand, you go handle it yourself." So I went in. So it was a bankers association.
Okay.
So there's a small place called Pune in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
So the bankers association, they invited us to do a talk, training actually, one-day training.
Okay.
So I went in and I said, "Hi, I am from Memory Vision."
Mhm.
So the guy said, "Nice meeting you. Where is the trainer?" I said, "I am the trainer." Then he looked at me and he said, "Kid, if I may ask you, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 18 plus."
Oh my God.
So he asked me, "Do you know how much?"
Because no way you look 28 years of experience.
No. I was like, I was a kid, I was
Yeah.
only 1.5 years experience that time. So he's like, "Kid, you know how much experience I have in banking industry?" I said, "No, I wouldn't know." He said, "I've got more than 20 plus years in the banking industry. My experience is more than your age." I said, "Wow, that's wonderful." Then he asked me like, "Do you think you can handle our group?" I said, "Well, I came all the way, so it's like 400 kilometers I traveled just to do this.
Mhm.
So you have taken an off and you organized this. So listen to me till the tea break. If you are not comfortable, I'll go back. You don't have to pay anything." So he liked my confidence. Then he said, "Okay, go ahead." And then there's the first tea break, and then in the tea break, this same guy comes in, Mr. Gupta. He comes in and said, "Guruji, अच्छा है, आप shoot up, लगे रहो, keep continuing it." So that was my first turning point, I should say, where I could really say, okay, age is not a problem. Like I was actually delivering, and people were happy with that.
Yeah.
So that was one challenge, which was like mitigated that way. And the other challenge was like, when we say that we improve memory and focus, a lot of people have this belief that it is something which is inborn.
Right.
So people think, "Hey, how can you improve memory? Come on, give me a break." And in fact, I had a lot of instances where people literally laughed at my face. "Bada aaya memory improve karne wala, bada aaya focus improve karne wala." So it was like that. So then we have to do something to keep people shut, actually. Just to say
You have to prove yourself.
prove this. So we've done interesting event, and what we've done is we've done a Limca record.
Okay.
So me, my brother have done a Limca record, and what I have personally done for that is I have remembered 75 telephone numbers in less than an hour.
75. My
Yes,
goodness.
and
I
this.
think I remember one or two with difficulty.
So those are not from my phone book.
Oh.
They were actually taken from the auditorium. So I went into the auditorium, asked, okay, what's your name, what's your number, what's your name, what's your number, what's your name, what's your number. I came back onto the stage, people moved around, and then somebody asked the name, I gave the number, somebody asked the number, I gave the name, and somebody asked, actually, okay, tell me about me. So I said, okay, you're Pankaj and your number is da 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 da. So that was what I've done, and
Amazing.
that's not even touched so far, so that record is still holding. So
75 numbers, that's huge.
75 telephone number, and mind you, those days it was not fixed 8-digit number.
Okay.
So there were like 4-digit STD code and 3-digit number or a 5-digit code.
City number, city
Yeah,
code
so
and
it was
all that.
completely different. So it was not even unified. So I could remember that. So that was the one thing which gave sudden limelight, like oh, this guy is up to something.
Yeah.
So that was another thing which has helped to.
It's unbelievable actually.
Yes.
How old were you then?
I was about 17 and half then.
That's
Yeah.
all, teenager.
Starting, yeah. And in fact, one thing is I've never filled up a CV ever in my life.
You
So-
never needed to.
I just started off like that, and these days my friends ask me, Anant, can you help me looking at my CV? I said, oh, chhod ke kuch aur pucho. I just can't do that because I've never done a CV myself. So what I say is like, it was a family hobby, changed into profession. So you can't ask for more if your hobby is paying you.
Yeah.
So you're on a holiday for the rest of your
Yeah.
life. So that's what is happening for the last 28 years. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you help people like?
Okay, so basically if you just look at the worldwide structure, no offense to anybody, but what happens is neither on the dining table nor in the school or academic situation, people have never been told how to focus, how to remember, how to learn, how to read.
Right.
We're just being told, pay attention,
Creative.
remember, learn, read, but the how part is totally missing. So I call myself as a how-to expert. So I give you ways and means on how you can do that. Now what happens in the market is like, people always come up and tell you what to do. Oh, you must pay attention. Oh, you know what? You should not react, you should respond. But the how part is missing. So I help in the how part. And basically it's, I do a lot of training, so I do corporate training.
Okay.
And I do one-on-one trainings for business owners and even professional students. So the average attention span worldwide has drastically reduced. It's far less than 5 minutes. Alright? So people's attention is not there. So now let's say I'm talking to you, you can see me, right?
Yeah.
Now what's the guarantee that I'm actually here? I may be thinking, okay, it doesn't happen with me, but I'm just going to example. I may be thinking, oh, tomorrow I have to book a ticket, otherwise, the prices might go higher. Or, oh, did my mom have her lunch or not? All these kind of things.
Yeah,
might
it
happen.
happens back on the mind.
It happens back of the mind. So if there are a lot of things which are happening back of the mind, I would not be really able to focus on what's happening in front of me.
True.
So if I help people to stay put in the present so that they can actually do what they are doing in a less time and lesser mistakes and more efficiency. So normally what happens is like, let's say somebody reporting to you and you ask them, okay, get me Rahul's number, for example. So this guy goes back to the table, picks up the phone and he sees a notification, opens it, it's maybe a small short video, he sees it, enjoys it, sends to somebody, that guy calls and this after 15-20 minutes, he would not even remember why on the planet he picked up the phone. So the task is just, a job which can be done in 5 minutes takes forever sometimes. Not because of the potential issue. It's simply because the mind started wandering. So if that can be stopped, the efficiency goes to the next level. And that's what I actually help people to do.
It's much needed in these days.
Oh,
with all
yes.
the gadgets and
Absolutely.
all the
And
information, social media.
I tell you, you use the right word these days. Post-corona, it has become terrible.
Terrible, yes.
I mean, it has nothing to do with corona, but the lifestyle.
But lifestyle will change drastically.
Absolutely. So what happens is like, earlier people were working in office. Now today somebody like, those are working from home. They're working in the official work.
Yeah.
There's a plumber working down there.
Yes.
And there's a cooker sound here. So the mind is everywhere.
Everywhere.
So people got themselves into distractions too much.
Yeah,
And
distraction is everywhere.
Distraction is everywhere and people cannot remember stuff. So those days, like older days, I'm sure you remember that Casio data banks never came out into the market. people used to remember telephone numbers like nobody's business.
True.
People have like 20, 30, 50 numbers just like that. Nowadays, people actually don't remember. There are a lot of people who cannot remember 5 telephone numbers other than the family members in case of emergency. Forget about that. There are some people whom I really met, and it's no joke.
Next.
They don't remember their own number.
Own number also.
Own number. Because I met a guy whose name is Halim. So I was like, it was a business networking kind of thing. I said, can I have your card? He said, sorry, I don't have my card. I said, okay, is it okay to take your number? I said, yeah, go ahead. So then I said, okay, please give me your number. So this guy has put his hand inside the pocket. So I was thinking that you take out some card. But then he takes out the phone where there's a sticker behind and it says the number. So he says, this is my number. I said, Mr. Halim, you don't remember your number? He said, oh, I don't have to remember. I said, how come you don't have to remember? So I mean, he made a funny statement. He said, I will never call myself ha ha ha. Rather than saying I don't have capacity to remember, he is coming up with a fake thing that I don't have to call myself. Now what's happening is the exercise to the brain has become lower and lower every day. Now the day the calculators have come in, people's ability to calculate reduced. Then comes the data bank. People don't remember their telephone numbers. Now when you can just see your own phone book also. You scroll through the contact book, you'll find at least 100 to 500 numbers, maybe like Pankaj Jaiswal. Now you're not, who the hell is this guy? What is this name doing in my book? And this kind of things. People don't even know why it is existing in the phone book. So that is what has happened. And thanks to Google Maps, people's spatial memory has gone for a toss. People don't know how to,
reach.
There are people who actually go, sit in the car, put home from the office and drive. And you ask them, hey, why are you doing it? They say, I'm calibrating traffic. But you know what? People when they go home, they say, वहाँ से यहाँ आया पता ही नहीं चला. क्योंकि they're just focusing on the pink line and the arrow in the GPS. If there's a traffic jam and there's a detour, they will not know it also. Attention has gone for a toss. And now, thanks to ChatGPT, thinking is also outsourced. And people now don't think anything. Okay, you ask some question, okay, ChatGPT answer. Now this is going to be a very big problem.
Yes.
And interestingly, 15 years back, I was telling people, hey guys, there's a time to work on your focus and memory. People are laughing, nothing like that,
It is there in front of me.
कुछ अच्छा चीज पैसे बनाने के लिए कुछ लेके आ गया, right?
मेमोरी में हाथ में.
And now when I talk to people, they say, oh my god, I can't remember a lot of stuff. My focus is fading away. Now 15 years back, if they have done something about it, they would not have gotten this stage. And you made one comment just now, हाथ में है. But let me tell you, there are a lot of people who ask me a question like, yeah, you know what, my phone is having 256 GB, my laptop is having 2 TB. Now why should I even store in my brain? The answer for that is very interesting. Now you take some information, whatever information, put it into a device. If you're very lucky, let's say you're lucky, next 100 years you take out the content, it will be exactly the same. Assuming that there's no virus and no fire and nothing, so you can retrieve and it's exactly the same. But you know what? You take the same information, put it in your brain, you take it after 1 week, it becomes enriched. You take after 1 year, it becomes more enriched. Now the reason being, the information which goes into the device is data. Data don't react with another data. Whereas the information which goes into the brain is knowledge. Now knowledge can interact with other knowledge, it can synthesize, it can have creativity, and that's the source for creativity. So the more information you can have in the brain, decisions happen. Now let's say you have a team of 5 people, okay? Now you're saying, okay, what happened in Jaipur, what happened in Gujarat, what happened here, and then you're listening, and then you're processing all the things. It takes a while. But if you remember all those stuff, decisions evolve. Yeah, so by remembering, people's life becomes more easier. And by focusing, people's life will become more efficient. And I always say that, if you have the luxury of only working on one skill consciously, it should be upgrading your memory, upgrading your focus as the first thing. Because focus becomes the primary thing. Even though my first love is memory, my first offering is focus. So what I mean by my first love is memory is that I started as a hardcore memory expert, as I said. I was able to remember anything, and I was able to help people to remember anything. It may be amusing for you to know that I have literally helped people to learn Spanish faster without knowing a single word of Spanish. I helped a girl from Mumbai to learn Korean faster without knowing a single word of Korean, because for the brain it really doesn't matter what you're trying to remember. So it's like hardcore memory. But then last 12-13 years I realized that focus is more important than memory. So now my first offering is always focus, because if you have a better focus, your memory will also be better. So one skill you want to work on, it has to be focus. I mean, with due respect to all the skills, whether you want to be in photography, whether you want to swim, whether you're learning a new language, if your focus is better, you'll be better off. Now, if you have the luxury of working on 2 skills, the second one should be memory, because you are nothing but a bundle of memories you carry. And if you have the luxury of one more thing to work on, that should be reading, because reading will actually help you to fast forward your journey. And the best thing is, I work with all 3 of them. I'm saying this as 1, 2, 3, not because I'm working with that. I'm saying this because that's the order which is required.
Order to.
Yeah. So, because any skill you want to pick up, these 3 skills will become the foundation.
Foundation, the base.
Absolutely. The base, yeah. So, that's like it, yeah.
So what do you have to say for the youngsters? What advice do you have? The giveaways like?
Okay, so few things I would like to share. The first thing is, a lot of people come and tell me that I don't have a good memory. Can you do something about it? Now I want you to understand that there is no challenge with memory ever. Now people cannot have a problem with memory. Now what they are saying is a problem of memory is basically a problem of recall. Recall. So let me ask you a question. If I say any memory problem is technically a recall problem, would you agree to that?
Yes, of course, yes.
Yes, of course, right. Now, I want to ask you one question.
Yes.
When is the last time you sat with yourself and did something which can qualify as recall practice?
Not specifically.
Not specifically, exactly. So, when people don't do recall practice, you can never have a good memory. Now one of the major mistakes which is happening in life is, I'm giving an academic example, even though I don't work with school students as such, but I work with professional students. Now what's happened is, like, as a student, let's say I'm trying to learn maybe Pythagoras theorem example. So if I have some struggle, so people would say, beta isko na 4 baar pad lo, read it 4 times, you'll be able to get it. So people think memory is input intensive, right? So if you put it inside 4 times, it becomes layer on layer and then it's strong with you. No, it doesn't work like that. Now let's say as a logic or conversation, it looks appealing.
Yeah.
So let's say if it is true, even if it is true. So I've done my Pythagoras theorem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers example, let's say. And you, as my teacher, taking my viva and ask me, Anant, tell me about Pythagoras theorem. So what are you asking me to do is pull out the content, right? You are asking me to pull out the content, but all my life I have been practicing to put in the content. What a mismatch. The test is on pulling out, I am practicing putting in. So it is metaphorically equal to, you practice cycling for 4 years, and when you get a chance to participate in Olympics, you go and participate in javelin throw, and you wonder why I'm not able to make it. So memory is not input intensive game, it's an output intensive game. If you want to remember more, you should work on recalling more so that you can become a recall champion. So that is one simple thing. The second thing is, a lot of times people, they basically, what they do is, they have a negative belief or a disbelief on memory. So basically, if you want to look at into 3 major things which happen, one is disbelief. Oh, I think I cannot remember. Oh, they can remember it, but I can't do that. So the moment you say, I can't, now the worst thing which happens is, you will not even try. Disbelief actually cripples people. They will not even make a first move. Now, okay, let me ask you this thing. Have you ever heard people saying, as people grow old, memory goes down?
Yes.
So interesting to know why it happens.
Why it happens.
So first of all, when we were kids, we have been always told, like, the jokes, the grandfather putting the specs on the head and searching everywhere. And we had good laughs. But then what happened over a period of time when we grew a little older, we actually saw our grandparents do that, or friends' grandparents do that, and we said, hey, this is true. It actually happens. And then when we grow like 40, 50 years old, then we believe that, oh, it's going to happen to me. And it's natural. That's what people think. So then they say, okay, I think now I'm aged, so I can't remember. Now, technically what happens is, because I think I cannot remember, I will not try. Because I don't try, I don't remember. And because I don't remember, I'll blame the age. People will come to you and tell you that, hey, you know what, I can't remember, I'm getting old these days. But nobody will ever tell you, I can't remember because I never tried. So disbelief makes a huge impact. So if you can cover the disbelief, you're way better than what you can even imagine. Try to karke dekho. I mean, a lot of people, if they want to go to a shop and get 5 things in the market, the first thing they do is take out a list and start writing. We ask them, why are you writing this list? And at least 95% of people would say, I'm helping my memory. Now, you know what? You're not actually helping your memory, you're harming your memory to a point of beyond repair. Just think about this. If you're not willing to or not able to, it could be anything. If you're not willing to or not able to remember 5 things from the market, what do you expect your brain to do for you in your life? If there's no trust factor, how can things work? Trust karke dekho. Come out of the disbelief. Start believing, doing small things and see for yourself. So disbelief is one thing. The second thing is disuse. So disuse is basically, as I told you, people don't use as much memory as they want. So if I'm talking to you, it doesn't happen with me generally. Oh, what's your number? 31911814. Okay, I got it in my phone. Try and remember. By using your memory is like a muscle. Okay, focus is like a muscle. When you start doing on little things, you will be able to build that. So these are the 2 things which will actually help people to take it to the next level to start with. Of course, it's a huge science behind it, but yeah. So in a conversation, this
basically
absolutely. At least start with this.
It is so interesting actually.
Yeah.
It's so much. People are really unaware of these things.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, the learned ones, I don't think they really think it's
Wait,
the way you are explaining, they don't think it can.
The problem is that
They accept that.
One is they accept. 2 is there are no conversations about it. Oh, people say, oh, it's like I think I cannot remember. Over.
It's okay.
It's over.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Actually, you can't do anything about
Yeah.
it. So for people, my power is like weather. People talk about it but can't do anything about it. Oh, these days my focus is losing. Oh, it happens with everybody. It's okay. But why is it happening? Is there a way? They don't think, because people come from a belief system that it's something which is inborn. Okay, let me ask you a question. Can you speak Vietnamese?
No.
Can you ride a fighter plane?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Did you ever feel bad or guilty about अरे यार जिंदगी में ये दोनों भी नहीं आता है?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Why not? Because probably you never been to Vietnamese school, language school,
Yeah.
or you never tried bilaterally.
Yes.
So if you've been there 5 years and if you're still not able to speak, yeah, something wrong, right? But if you're driving, you've been in an academy, aviation academy for 5 years and you're still not able to fly, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
So I want to ask a question. When is the last time you actually been in a program or a training where you train your focus or memory?
Not really.
Not really. Then why there is a problem? So you've not done it. Why to do it right now? You don't have to feel bad. Now people start feeling bad, think that it is a natural thing.
Yeah.
You have to learn it. The moment you learn it, anybody can do it. As simple as that. I have learned it, as I told you. It's not something I'm born with.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. So when these conversations are absent, so people just take it that I think I'm not lucky. So that's that way it is.
So nice.
Yeah.
So that was nice talking to you, Anand.
Same here. Thank you.
Such a lovely information to my viewers.
Thank you. And I wish all the viewers had a great memory and a fantastic focus.
Sure. In any case, they should get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Develop
Anytime.
their memory and focus.
Absolutely. Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take care.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
God bless.
Bye. Thank you.
Do like, subscribe, and watch.